After waiting all summer for high school football, the regular season will be more than half over after this weekend. The first cool breezes of fall likewise mean the competition is continuing to heat up. All of the action, highlights, and scores begins now on Sportsline Friday night.
What's up, guys? I'm Jacques Doucet. Kevin Baptiste is with the Southern Jaguars on the road. In the meantime, John Eads has been in Slaughter, Louisiana this evening. He'll be on the set shortly with highlights from Slaughter and East Feliciana, but we've got plenty of games to start you off with tonight. And first off, we begin with Sandoval. The Gators taking on the Walker Wildcats. Sandoval coming into this one 4-1. Walker 1-4. Here's Cooper Babin back in the pocket, slinging it down the field and finding his man Terrell Carter. Oh, that's a first down, and then Babin will find Terrell Carter here. This will be a touchdown, and the extra point is good, so the Gators on the road take a 7-0 advantage. But Walker answers back on special teams. They love to have those special guys wearing the big numbers, and that is Jaden Wilson with the big return before he is taken down. Walker then to the rushing attack. Dylan Bro gets the handoff, and he's into the secondary and into the end zone. Extra point ties things up, and it is a 7-7 game. We move to the second quarter now, and it is Annan Millette, the fake punt, and Sandoval going into their bag of tricks. That's a big play. And then it's the handoff to Jordan Hickerson coming up, and Hickerson with the touchdown. So Sandoval goes back out in front, 14-7. Special teams continuing to be big here. It's an onside kick, and it is recovered by the Gators. So stealing possessions from Walker on the road then. Babin letting it fly to Landon Blanchard, who makes the catch and scores. Oh, that's pretty. Gators up 21-7 at that point. They love to chunk it. Just like his father in the early 2000s, it's Babin to Carter for the first down. And then Babin, the keeper, fakes it up the middle, north and south into the end zone. So Sandoval looking good at that point. They're up 28-7. Walker trying to answer it back. Jaden Wilson gets the handoff and he scores 28-14. So Sandoval has their lead cut to a couple of touchdowns, but Babin and company keep their foot on the gas. Is Hickerson for the first down, and then it is Hickerson again for the touchdown to put Sandoval out in front 35-14. They score again, and they win very convincingly by the final of 42-14. So, nice effort by the Gators on the road this evening, and of course, next week they've got the big game against EA. All right, let's talk about, this is a big one. Prairieville and East Ascension. Prairieville up 14-6 at the half. The touchdown pass now from Skylar Kelly to Naden Paul, and Prairieville up 21-6. East Ascension isn't supposed to have any problem with Prairieville, leading to Sandoval next week. And then it is Staten De La Paz. De La Paz into the end zone, 27-12. Prairieville, and then it is Skylar Kelly. He keeps it. He's into the end zone, so the Hurricanes up 31-12. EA trying to hang around though. Tristan Manuel back in the pocket finds Briston Martinez for the touchdown. Prairieville has their lead cut 31-20. Could they hang on, or would they get nervous down the stretch? Well, no nerves here. Joby Fontenot, the touchdown, 38-20 Prairieville. EA goes down and scores again. This time it's Ethan Luke, 38-27 Prairieville. But Prairieville is not getting conservative, or they're certainly not sitting on the football, trying not to anyway. Evan Sanders, huge run down to the 4-yard line. Sanders, how about that? The next play, Prairieville wants to win this game and win it with authority. It's Sanders And Prairieville, in their second year of football, smacks East Ascension tonight, 44-27. Prairieville improves now to 3-3 on the season. So those guys are improving, and they are improving quickly. All right, Thursday night action. Denham Springs at Live Oak. Live Oak's Caden Jones. The pass over the middle to Cash Davis, but it's intercepted by Denham Springs' Trendon Meteor. And then it is Denham Springs' Deshaun Goldman, the quarterback keeper. Yellow Jackets out to the 7-0 lead. Live Oak tries to answer back. Caden Jones, the pass to Cash Davis. They hook up this time for the first down. And then that would lead to Live Oak handoff. Brendan Empson will score, so we're all tied up in the first quarter. But here comes Denham Springs. Deshaun Goldman, he keeps, he scores. Denham Springs back out in front, 14-7. Then Live Oak to the air. Jones, but he's intercepted. Caden Allen with the big return before he is finally tackled deep in Live Oak territory. That would lead to a handoff to Brenton Paul for the touchdown. Denham Springs now up 21-7. The Yellow Jackets bringing it, and they were not done. Tanner Coroner with the touchdown. 28-7, Denham Springs at that point, and a big win for Brett Beard and company. No problem at all. 63 points, 63-34 was the final in that one. All right, there's three big games in the first block of Sportsline Friday night. Many more games to come, week 6 of the regular season. Be brought down and then attached. Sportsline Friday night. Oh, there's one Plaquemine fan who was very excited to be in Memorial Stadium tonight, rooting on his Green Devils against the McKinley Panthers. Here's the opening kickoff of the game. A big return by Rustin Grace, and that would lead to the first offensive play of the game, and it looks like there's no defense out there. Austin Young Jr. right up the middle through a huge hole. 7-0 Green Devils, just like that. A little bit later, we've got another junior getting the football and breaking loose. It is Spencer Collins Jr. He exploits a big opening himself, and the Green Devils looking great on the road early on. They're up 13-0. It's 4th and 1 for McKinley, and they try to fake a punt here, but Plaquemine blows it up. That's Dalen Jenkins and Ryan Jenkins, along with some of their teammates, stuffing the fake attempt. So Plaquemine takes over in great field position. That would lead to Austin Young Jr. again, getting into the end zone. They tackle him. That's a little too late. The flags were flying. It was 20-0 at that point, and Plaquemine has no problem on the road tonight, 40-0. So Plaquemine improves to 5-1 on the season. That's 5 straight wins after losing to Zachary in the season opener. Pretty much deja vu from last year for Plaquemine. All right, Shaw and St. James. These were 2 teams that were in the Superdome a season ago. Shaw, a state champion. St. James losing a heartbreaker in the state finals. Tonight, it's Alan Shaw, for Shaw, lobs the touchdown pass to a wide-open Elliott Love. It's a 29-yard score, and it is 7-0 early on for Shaw. And here is Shaw running the option for Shaw, making everyone look silly. Boy, he's fast, breaking away for the 48-yard touchdown. That makes it 14-0. Shaw out in front. DeAndre Franklin, then an 11-yard touchdown for Shaw. It's 21-0, and this one looks like it's going to be a laugher. But hang on. St. James, Jawan Jackson. Watch him scramble, buy himself some time, and then throw the dart to Rakee Lee in the back of the end zone. So that makes it 21-14. Shaw is up. Shaw kicks a field goal to take a 10-point lead, but here comes Jackson rolling, finds Jacavis Villanova for the touchdown. The 2-point conversion, however, was no good, and here's the onside kick. They need to get it, but Shaw is able to gobble it up, and they gobble up what is left on the clock. They go on to win this one tonight by the final of 24-20. So a great football game between those 2 programs, 2 of the best in the state. Sportsline Friday night continues coming up. Homecoming tonight in Brusly as the Panthers played host to undefeated Donaldsonville, the Tigers. Brusly having only lost once themselves this year to Plaquemine. After a couple of back-and-forth punts, Tigers quarterback Skylar Garrison's pass would be tipped at the line and intercepted by Braden Ray to give the Panthers the ball back. So big turnover there. Quarterback Drake Vincent would drop back. Can't find anybody here, so he would keep it himself. A big game before he is hammered by a Tiger defender. Ouch. But after being penalized for holding, Vincent would connect with Marion Irving over the middle to give the Panthers a 7-0 advantage. Brusly fans liking that. The Tigers move the ball down the field easily, but it only matters if you finish, as Ryland Johnson would strip it from Donald Brown in the red zone to give the Panthers the ball back. So Hoff Schoolers team ripping away at that football and getting a turnover. We move to halftime with Brusly leading 7-0, where Miss Zoe Oliver was named the homecoming queen. Congrats to her. Now back to football. The Panthers would get the ball back, and Vincent would drop an absolute dime here. Beautiful pass captured by Andre Champagne, our videographer. Patrick Gales makes the catch for the score, and Brusly up 14-0. Next drive, the Tigers get the ball back, and Garrison forced the throw. It's tipped by his own receiver and intercepted by Ryland Johnson coming up. That'd be his second takeaway of the evening. The Panthers would later cash in off the turnover as Roderick Covington would push his way into the end zone, and Brusly would go on to win this one and knock off undefeated Donaldsonville by the final of 21-7. So a big statement win for Brusly, who improves now to 5-1 on the season. The west side, the best side. All right, West Feliciana and St. Michael. St. Michael looking to stay undefeated. They were 5-0 on the season. St. Michael wasted no time in this one as Boogie Livingston would hand it off to his brother CJ Livingston. He would bounce off a couple of defenders to put the Warriors on the board 7-0. On the ensuing drive, the Saints put a nice drive together themselves as Brooks Abear would fake the defense out to Tony O'Sullivan for the score, and that knocks things up at 7 apiece. The Saints would get the ball back and would drive it down the field again, where running back Ty London takes it in himself out of the Wildcat to give West Feliciana the 14-7 lead. We go to the second half and things will get interesting as the Warriors would pull within 3, but Abear had other plans as he hits Riggs Lanoa to set the Saints up in the red zone. Abear would trick the defense and our cameraman to find the Corian King for the touchdown, and the Saints would run away with it as St. Michael fumbled the following kickoff to give West Feliciana back the ball. Saints would give the Warriors their first loss. 35-18 was the final score. Abear was 18 of 22, 153 yards, 2 touchdowns, and Ian Mills, 159 yards rushing and 2 scores. All right, John Eads should join me after the break. Much more high school football coming your way. All right, it was homecoming for Ascension Catholic as they faced Ascension Christian. Ascension Christian taking the field, and here come the Bulldogs at home. 40 seconds into the game, Ascension Catholic wasting no time, going to the air. Greg Fernandez airs one out, and he finds his man. That is Johnny Villion for the touchdown to make it 7-0 home team. Ascension Catholic would keep up the pace as running back Trevin Simon would run hard and through the defense into the end zone. That makes it 14-0. Our cameraman Abe Martin, he's a big, strong kid, but he got bumped into on the sideline. A lot of excited people out there. After some strong runs by Simon, Fernandez would keep the ball himself for a touchdown to make it 21-0. And then with a little over a minute left to go, Ascension Catholic hands the ball. All right, 42-0 was the final score. Ascension Catholic rolls to victory tonight. All right, Liberty and Catholic, this was Thursday night. The Bears were up 24-0 in the third quarter. Bryce Preston, the pass complete to Connor Nairn for the touchdown. 24-8, the two-point conversion was good. Catholic, a couple of drives later, Jaden Miles keeps to himself and punches it in for the touchdown. It was 32-8 Catholic. The two-point conversion was good. And the Bears looking good at Olympia Stadium. The Bears would find themselves with the possession again. Pierce Tompkins hand off to Lamont Robinson for the sideline run, and Catholic High, after that heartbreaking one-point loss a week ago, no problem in this one, 38-16. All right, John Eads has finally joined us from Slaughter. We'll be back. Sportsline Friday night will take you to 11 o'clock. Much more high school football highlights coming your way. This is where you find us. Of course, the entire show is streamed from the get-go at WAFB.com and all of our streaming platforms. See you in a couple of minutes. All right, welcome back to Sportsline Friday night. I'm Jacques Doucet along with John Eads. And you have been working hard, as usual. Some games went a little longer than we expected. We had some guys cramping, and we had some penalties. But we got to a finish line.
Yeah, late night over at Slaughter. I thought it would be a great game, and it took a while to get to the ending, but we eventually got there, and now we're here to show you it. Here we go. We went live from this game at 6 o'clock. Slaughter off to a 5-0 start East Fell very strong as well. Beat Episcopal. They're 4-1. Little cross-parish rivalry here. Just the second time they've ever played this game. It's 16-3 here. We'll pick it up in the fourth quarter. Tychemian Ford going deep, and he's got his man Thomas Carter Jr. High points the football and scores. So that makes it 16-9. They'd add the PAT as well, so it's 16-10, about 5 minutes to go. Now they need a stop. Marcus Cannon Jr. throws, incomplete. It skips off the dirt. Ford was there in coverage, but now Slaughter's got the momentum. Eastfell's got a punt. They get it away. Ford's deep. One of the assistant coaches said, hey, you got to make something happen. He makes something happen. Finds a seam, gets up the sideline, pushed out of bounds near the 40-yard line. And I didn't see the flag come out, but there was an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on East Feliciana as well. So add 15 yards to the starting point of this next drive. Again, touchdown puts Slaughter in front in the fourth quarter. Ford dumps it down to Carson Baxter, nicknamed Turbo, taken down. So we're at under a minute to go, 42 seconds, 16-10. This is third down and about 10. 2 shots to the end zone. Baxter going long. Anybody there? No, it is broken up, incomplete. Cannon there in coverage along with Kadarius Miller. Now it's fourth down, 28 seconds left. This is the game for all intents and purposes. Baxter, can he get it away? No, he cannot. Dragged down, sacked. The Hail Mary does not work. East Feliciana wins the game. That was Matthew King with the game-sealing sack. 16-10, the final score. The Tigers come across town and take care of the Knights. They hand them their first loss of the season. 16-10, the final score. Very exciting finish there. Could have gone either way. And you just wish that last pass would get in the air.
Well, East Feliciana more of a traditional power. Slaughter's rising up, but not quite enough tonight.
Still great effort. Both teams now 5-1. Take you back to Thursday night. Got blessed with a good one here. Undefeated North Iberville hosting St. John, and this matchup came down to the wire last year. Lived up to the hype once again here. After trading possessions, North Iberville with the ball inside its own 10. This is Jeremy Favorite weaving the daylight, off to the races, puffing and puffing, outruns the safety and scores. That's the first touchdown of the game, and it's 8-0 after a 2-point conversion. On the ensuing St. John drive, Tyler Edwards fakes the handoff to his fullback. He sprints around the edge. He'll cut inside and take it all the way in. The Eagles tie the game at 8 after a successful 2-point conversion of their own, 8-8. Moving to the second quarter, Bears up 16-8. It's third down. Justice Roy dumps a screen pass to B.J. Melanson. The junior slices across the defense, shifts it into high gear, moving north and south. St. John trying to chase him down, but Melanson too fast, too furious. See that movie, John?
Which one?
The second one.
There's like 15 of them, right?
I think that's the second one.
Okay.
In any case, 22-8, that's a yes. North Iberville in front. Melanson again gets the sweep handoff, and he scores. So it's 28-16. Bears looking good at the half. The Eagles would score out of the locker room, so it's back to a 6-point game. But the Bears go back to Melanson, and he says, I'm that, and you can't disagree after the showing he's putting on here. The Bears would add the 2-point conversion, and it's a 36-22 game. We're going back and forth here. But remember last year, St. John showed 26-8 in the second half. They came back and took a lead. Little trick play there. Ends up in the hands of Daniel Broad. He would score, and then here's the 2-point conversion. This is Ahmad Wilson. He's running. Oh, no, he's throwing. Loops it up top to Broad. Catches it, falling back into the end zone. So the 2-point conversion is good, and it's 36-30 at that point. North Iberville looking to answer. They do just that. Roy finds a different Melanson. Not BJ, it's his little brother Aiden with the catch. Oh, and he would score. Takes a bit of a spill. New field there, still getting used to it. 44-36, North Iberville in front. Wild sequence here in the fourth quarter. 5 minutes to go. And there's a fumble here. The ball would pop loose out of the hands of Roy. Landon Daigle recovers it. Keep in mind, this was after a North Iberville interception by Melanson that you thought ended the game. Instead, the Eagles have a chance to tie it here with a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. They get the touchdown with Wilson there. So 44-42 late in the fourth quarter. Now they need a 2-point conversion. Ron Lejeune sends in pretty much the same play call. And Wilson back in the end zone as he barrels over the goal line. It's 44-all with 4 minutes to go. Third down for the Bears on their next drive. Roy hoping to atone for his prior mistake. He keeps it on a draw, sidesteps a tackle, And somehow, some way, he squirts out of the pack, and he is gone. Justice is served. The Bears back in front, 50-44. They would not get the 2-point conversion. There must be a slippery spot in there, a banana peel or something. Hey, but just like last year, the Eagles with a chance with the ball late to score. That was a halfback pass, and the receiver was wide open. That was Levi Taylor, but instead it's incomplete. So here we go, 21 seconds left, 50-44. It's 4th down, and the snap is dropped by Edwards. He falls on it, but that would do it. The Eagles turn it over on downs. The Bears take a knee, and that's it. North Iberville wins the game. Kind of an anticlimactic ending to what was an excellent game. 50-44 is the final score. The Bears moved to 6-0. We caught up with Coach and some of the players afterwards.
We lost some key guys last year, but we got a big senior class this year, and they've been through this before, but totally different type of season and different situations that we haven't been used to. And like I said, I couldn't be more proud of those guys for finding a way and leaning on each other, even when things were seeming really negative and there were chances for us to lay down and hang our heads. Everybody was picking each other up and staying positive. I think that gave us the courage to finish through.
It looked like a touchdown pre-snap, and then everything just collapsed. So I ended up just trusting my feet, keeping my legs pumping, and somehow I got in the end zone.
That confidence comes from hard work and practice. I see what my team does in practice. I see how hard we work. I see how hard we worked over the summer. I knew we could handle the situation. So, when people put their hands down, I got to pick them up and remind them of that. Remind them what all we did to get here, to be 6-0. You don't just wake up and go 6-0. It takes a lot of work. So we put that work in. I feel like we should be able to keep our heads high in every situation. And somebody got to pick us up. So why not me?
I have to call you Nostradamus. You wanted to go to that game. You knew it was going to be good.
Turned out good.
There it is. Dunham tonight, homecoming against Capital, and Dunham dominated for 4 quarters. Defense there. Christian Nixon tries to make a run, but he is stopped by a pack of Tigers. Check this out, a jet sweep to number 1, Deion Dixon. He runs to the sideline avoiding those ferocious linebackers, but he's hawked down and stopped by number 20, Reed Williams, and that ends the Lions drive in a hurry. And this guy was an absolute freight train. Check out Trevor Heyman with the ball. He gains a big chunk of yards as he runs down a defender on his way to picking up a first down for the Tigers. Now here's the elite quarterback, Elijah Haven. He dumps it off to Chris Thomas for the first down, and he just makes it look so easy. The kid has a bright future ahead of him. Who wrote this?
his mom, Courtney.
It's all true. First and 10, Hayden
Yeah. drops
back, sees his receiver in the backfield, dumps it off to him, and as Tyler Sotil, he is going for a 47-yard touchdown for the Tigers. And Dunham, here we go.
Here's it right here.
Here's the play, drops it off. And that's Elijah is a excellent quarterback, but those the nice stat patterns right there, right?
Sure. I mean, he does
62-6.
He could do that against anybody, no doubt.
Happy homecoming for Dunham. All right, much more coming up.
One more for you before the break. Scotlandville, Zachary from this evening. The Broncos coming off a blowout win against Opelousas, now getting into district play. Kind of a slow start here in the first half. Matthew Zito's defense looking good, though. That's Cartier Brown with the sack on 3rd down to give the Broncos offense the football. Michael Kirby pitches it out to his running back, but it ends up on the turf. It's loose. Who's going to get it? It's still loose. Scotlandville ends up falling on it. That was 52, who we don't have on the roster. But in any case, the Hornets have the football. Jadar Green loading up, and that pass is deflected. And that was on 3rd down. PBU by Trevin Barber. Field goal up. Just a chip shot, and it's good for Jeremiah Ganera. So 3-0 Scotlandville in the first quarter. Zachary with it, moving to the second quarter. Kirby rolling out, nobody to throw to. He is dropped. Christian Williams had a really good first half. He was all up in the Broncos' backfield. That would lead to a field goal, but that was missed. It was short. So it's 3-0 still. Now the Broncos defense back in the field and back to doing work. Look at them swarm to the quarterback right there. I see Dylan Shellmeyer. I see Malachi Langford, a bunch of guys teaming up to make the play. Now the Broncos offense with it. Handoff. Keeping his legs moving for the first down. That's Jeremy Patton, one of their star running backs. That drive would stall. Boston Bentley on, and he hits a 25 or so yard field goal, and that ties the game at 3 apiece. So now Scotlandville back with it, looking to answer the handoff to Sean Chester. I didn't see the ball pop out, but somewhere in that video, the ball came loose. The Broncos made a clear recovery. So now Drew Nettles and his offense get it with a chance to take the lead in plus territory coming up here. They go back to the run game to do just that. The handoff to Tyleek Lewis. It's a 1-2 punch. It's Patton, it's Lewis, it's a touchdown. Zachary takes the lead 10-3. That was very late in the first half. Let's see if they were able to pull away in the second. We got that final score here. 31-16 the final. So a bit of a shaky start, getting into district play. It's a different beast than non-district play, but eventually Coach Brewton and company make the adjustments and pull away for a 31-16 win.
All right, great stuff. We've got a few more games to show you. We're taking you to the top of the hour. Sportsline Friday Night continues.
All right, let's talk about Parkview hosting Port Allen. The Eagles continuing on with district play, and one of our former Sportsline Players of the Week will have his name called a lot in these highlights, and he's right there, number 4 in red, Marquise Franklin, their running back, also a linebacker. They added this package in a couple weeks ago, the Wildcat, and he takes it in for the touchdown. 6-0 after a missed PAT. Tyler Payne, the quarterback for Port Allen, with nowhere to go. That Eagles defense flocking to him. Landon Smith with the TFL. Now back to Franklin. Cutting up the middle, burying his shoulder. He's only a sophomore. It's a young guy. He's doing this now. He's still got 2 more years of high school football. I can't even imagine where he'll be 2 years from now. And he waltzes in there for his second touchdown, 13-0. Payne looking for a receiver.
Oh! Laying out.
Put his cape on for that one. That was Christian Richardson. Playing center field, kind of looked like Derek Curiel the other day at the LSU baseball scrimmage. 27-8, the final score. Parkview Baptist back in the win column.
All right, let's take you out to St. Gabriel. East Iberville at home tonight against White Castle. And Tigers taking the field. Good Tiger defense here, swarming to the quarterback. East Iberville on offense. Aldrich Wilson Jr. hits Isaiah Johnson. Great catch. But on fourth down, there you go. Nice play across the middle there. But on fourth down, the Tigers can't convert. However, their defense was continuing to play well. You see the fourth down play, sails over the receiver's head.
Needed a pogo stick for that one.
Not trying to embarrass anybody, but I believe White Castle came into this game having not scored a point this season.
As far as I know, yes. See if they could do that.
Final score tonight, I think they did score.
There you
go. But they gave up 24. East Iberville gets the victory. All right, final block of Sportsline Friday Night coming up.
All right, we got Belaire and Istrouma for you. We'll pick it up in the third quarter. The Indians were up 8-0, as you can see on the scoreboard right now, right there. Frank Alexander rolling out, looking for a receiver in the back of the end zone. Did he catch that? The refs say no. It hit the ground. Bummer. I guess why you wish you have instant replay in high school football. We could be that, I guess. Belaire takes a sack there.
You'd still be out there right now, though.
Maybe so. Maybe so. That was Sam Polk on the sack. Now to the fourth quarter, Marcus Williams. Nice run. Oh, but he drops the ball. Can't do that. Ball security is job security, as they say. Belaire, their ensuing drive would stall. Istrouma takes over. This is Carmelo Dager getting inside the 5. Ooh, close one there.
Heads up.
Istrouma essentially just trying to ice the game by running it. Not doing an excellent job of it there, I suppose. Frank Alexander was trying to find someone to throw to, couldn't do it. Now Belaire with it. Time running out. It's still 8-0, and that pass, I believe, was intercepted. In any case, Istrouma wins this game 8-0, the final score. Talk about a defensive battle there.
All right, Central Woodlawn.
Got that here. Woodlawn hosting. The Wildcats coming off their first loss of the season against LCA in a very high-scoring affair.
Trickeration.
Yeah, a little sweep. This is Marcus Randall's son, Caden. Can he get away from that last defender? He can. He outruns everybody for the touchdown. So Woodlawn looking good in all purple uniforms. Wildcats with it. Handoff to, I believe that's Shane Brown. It is Shane Brown. He gets to the edge. He takes it all the way in. So Central with a response. Now the Wildcats punting. The coverage looks good, so it must have been a drop, and it was a fumble. It's scooped up by Central. Tristan Rose, another running back, in this case running it to the end zone. I'm not sure if they allowed that to be a touchdown or not. Usually you can't advance the ball on a fair catch fumble. Have to check with Malik on that. Bad snap. Randall making something out of nothing. Oh my gosh. This is not how Tremone Douglas and company drew it up. Coach Randall's actually the OC as well, but it worked out. Big gainer. Randall, straight quarterback run, gets to the pylon, high-stepping into the end zone for the touchdown. And LeBron James just made a big announcement recently, so he's paying him tribute there with the celebration. Randall throwing. He's got his man. That's Alonzo Luckett. And I believe he takes it all the way in for the touchdown. So this is a back-and-forth affair. Randall on the two-point conversion. Does he get in? Looks like he does. They're celebrating. He's fired up.
Going to run it into the soccer net behind the end zone there.
I wish I knew what the score was right now. I have no idea. Maybe we got to look at the scoreboard or something like that. Here's a kickoff from Woodlawn to Central. The blocks are set up. Got a lane. Big return. That's Brown again. He had the big run earlier. Now the big return sets the Wildcats up in plus territory. What can they do with it? The handoff up the middle. Lane Billings, transfer from Live Oak. Now with the Wildcats with the touchdown. And they go on to win 31-28. 38-21.
We went out and shot this game. We had every intention of getting it on the air and showing you highlights. That's our bad. We'll have it during our sportscast this weekend, Madison Prep over Southern Lab. For John Eads, I'm Jacques Doucet. Great to see you.
You too.
And we'll see what happens this weekend with the Tigers and Jags. Have yourself a great weekend, and we'll see you next week on Sportsline Friday night.